Welcome back. I'm Tamra Davison, and I'm going to share a recipe that I got from my oldest daughter, who she's just absolutely fallen in love with it. I tried it once and it is delicious, so I thought I'd share it with you. So this recipe, creamed corn casserole, has corn as the main ingredient and followed by chicken. It's a really tasty dish that you're going to want to try this year. The main thing about picking corn is that you want to have it fresh, because the sugar converts to starch right away after it started picking. So to slow that process down, you can put it in the fridge, but really it's ideal to buy your corn and eat it that same day. If you can't do that, put it in the fridge to keep it cool. That's exactly why we pick our corn fresh every day. So this recipe calls for about 2.5 cups of corn. It actually takes four full cobs. And of course, more or less, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be exact. This isn't like baking. I would definitely use 4 cobs of corn. And there's different ways you can take your kernels off to get your 3 or your 2.5 cups or 2.25 cups. You can use a knife. You can use a straight edge knife or a curved knife. I actually like using a curved knife. And you can just kind of cut it and sort of feel where the bottom of the cob is. So this is just using a straight edge knife. The other thing that you can use is a corn gadget, and there's all different kinds of corn gadgets. This is the one that I like because it does several different rows of corn all at the same time. So the trick with this one is that you have to kind of push it down, otherwise you miss a lot of the corn. But it takes off several rows at one time. So there we have over 2 cups of corn, which is just perfect for this recipe. So we've got just over our 2 cups of corn. I should mention too that you don't pre-cook the corn. You just take the raw corn right off the cob, because once it's in the casserole, it'll finish in the oven. And the corn is so tender and sweet right now that it doesn't need to boil for very long anyway. Next step we're going to do is work with our chicken. So the first thing you want to do is season the chicken with salt and pepper on both sides. I like to use this bold, fresh cracked pepper, and then chili powder. And I like to use, this is a bit, you can use lots or little. Mix with the lime and the cilantro. The chili is just perfect, the chili powder. So I've done one side. I'm going to flip it over and do the same side. You'll notice that I cut these chicken breasts in half, just because I wanted to have smaller pieces. So chili powder, salt and pepper, and then the next step is to dredge it in flour. So before I do that, I'm going to turn my skillet on so that it gets preheated. And you need 2 tablespoons of oil, and we'll let that heat up while I'm dredging. Once you've laid your chicken breasts on, you want to smash them a little bit so that they get about 1/2 inch thick. Ideally, you will season them after you flatten them. There we are. It's a little bit thinner, which will work perfect for browning the chicken. So now we come to the dredging. So just lightly coat both sides with a little bit of flour, shake off the excess, and then put them in your skillet. Cast iron is the best, of course, but you may not have that, so any oven-proof dish will work. So we're going to leave that brown and flip it, and then brown the other side. See, I'm going to prepare the onions and the poblano peppers and the garlic. So we have these amazing Walla Walla sweet onions at the farm. They're absolutely huge. We won't need a full onion for the recipe, but because they're so sweet and mild, I'm going to use a full half. And I'm going to slice them thinly, and because it's again so big, I'm going to cut it in half this way, and then I'll slice it very thin. So there we have that. And then the poblano pepper, that's a pepper that we also grow. It is a mildly hot pepper. It's not super hot, not near as hot as a jalapeno. So if I was using a jalapeno, I would put gloves on because the oil from the peppers can actually burn your skin. But this one is mild. And then this too you cut into thin strips. Okay, before I do the garlic, I'm going to flip my chicken over. Nicely seasoned. Round the other side, and I'll prepare the garlic. 2 cloves of garlic. These are massive cloves. It's a Yugoslavian garlic that we sell at the farm that's grown locally. So to peel it, I'm just going to smash the side of it. So we want finely minced garlic, so however you normally do it will work just fine. I have this garlic press that I've had for 30 years that I really like. Just going to put it on top of the onions because they're all going to go together anyway. Because it's so big, I'm going to cut that one in half. I think I'm only going to use 1.5 of these cloves because they are so big. I like garlic, but I'm not over the moon about lots of garlic. So we're going to finish the chicken in the oven, so I'm not worried about it being completely cooked through. So I'm going to take the chicken out and set it aside. Now you probably don't need to add a little bit of oil more, but I'm going to add a little bit more to saute my onions. There's still a little bit left in the bottom of the dish. Now we have our poblano peppers and our onions. We'll stir that for just a couple of minutes at the most, just to kind of get the onions translucent. Looking pretty close. It'll continue cooking now, but I'm going to add the corn and saute for another couple minutes. Again, the corn's going to cook in the oven with the chicken, so we're just giving it a bit of a head start here. 1/2 block of cream cheese. It is going to make this casserole rich and creamy. So I've got that ready. And we need to add a little bit of salt as well. And a little bit more fresh ground pepper. I'll give that a stir, and then I'm going to add the lime zest and the lime juice. 1/2 of a lime for zest, and 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So if you have 1/2 a lime, you can easily get 2 tablespoons of lime juice from 1/2 a lime. Squeeze the juice. So I should mention that if you're just hand squeezing like I am, because I don't have a lemon zest or lime or lemon squeezer, if you rotate your lime on the counter like this, that helps to release the juice. So I've done this before, so I know you get about 2 tablespoons of lime juice out of 1/2 of a lime. So we've got the garlic, the onions, poblano peppers, salt, pepper, lime zest, and lime juice. I'm going to shut the oven off now. Add our 1/2 block of cream cheese and about 1/2 cup of chicken broth. Pick up the cheese, it'll melt faster. Stirring this and cooking it until the cheese is completely incorporated into the corn onion mixture. All right, that's looking good. So I'm going to turn my heat off. Then I'm going to place my chicken. I'm going to get 1/2 cup of Monterey Jack cheese on, and then I'm going to bake it in the oven for about 15 minutes. Our creamed corn casserole should be ready. It's been in the oven a good 15 minutes. You can see it's bubbling away and the Monterey Jack cheese is melted nicely. So it's good to go. Now you'll want to serve this with lime slices on the side. As you remember, I put lime zest and lime juice in, but it's nice to squeeze a bit of fresh lime on when you're eating it. And then I'm just going to finish it off with a little bit of fresh cilantro. So there we are. If you found this video helpful, press the like button and subscribe to more videos.